Welcome, my constant reader friends. I'm Tad, and this is Tad Reads Books and Stuff. All right, so today, let's get bookkeeping out of the way real quick. I am, what am I here? 250 pages into Skeleton Crew. Yeah, I'm just so behind on my Shorty King project. But about halfway through of my completely beat up and warped book. I love this book. I'll keep it forever. Skeleton Crew, about 250 pages in. As we talked before, I did finish Wool recently, and I finished The Road. This is actually the book we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to save the Wool for next week. And so let's set this aside, and we will be reading 4 Past Midnight as soon as I finish Skeleton Crew for my Shorty King. Hopefully we will get this finished by the end of the month, which will catch me up on my project of reading 1 compilation novel from Stephen King per month this year. Yes, I'm a little behind. So my TBR for next month is basically finish Skeleton Crew and then finish 4 Past Midnight. I'm just taking, I'm just going to take it really slow this month. Last month was really crazy with work, and I did get several books read, which was good, but I'm just going to get a little burnout. I'm just going to take it easy, read some short stories. Still got the last 6 chapters of Saga to finish. But anyways, let's get on to The Road. This is probably the book that, at least more recently, I've seen some comments about on my channel. People looking forward to seeing what I think of The Road. So let's get the numbers out of the way. This, of course, is The Road by Cormac McCarthy. You may know him from other books, All the Pretty Horses, Blood Meridian, of course everybody knows of that, Child of God, and No Country for Old Men, several others. This is my first foray into reading Cormac McCarthy, and I'll be honest, I don't know why I waited so long. I have seen the movies No Country for Old Men. I really liked it, and The Road. I think when I watched The Road, maybe I wasn't in the right headspace. I was kind of disillusioned by it a little bit. So maybe that's why I never went on to reading this, but I had this request by a couple people. So I said, you know what, let's do it. So this book was originally published in October of 2006. And my version, this is a hardback version, has 241 pages. On Goodreads currently, it's a 3.98. I will tell you right off the bat, I gave it a 5. We'll discuss why as we go. So what is this book? If you're not familiar, it is a dystopian, post-apocalyptic type story. Now, the main characters are a father and son, and that's their names. We don't know their names. Really, in this post-apocalyptic world, it's almost like, what does it matter? Why do you need a name? I understand that. Good choice by Cormac, I think, to not name them at all. It's just father and son. And they're on, the road. They're traveling on this road. They've got a grocery cart with all of their belongings in the cart, and they're traveling down this road. Why? Well, because of this post-apocalyptic world, they don't really discuss what the catastrophe exactly was that caused the end of the world. But, I mean, you can kind of infer some type of Holocaust event, probably with nuclear weapons. I mean, there are towns that are just completely melted, burnt. cities melted. There's like this nuclear winter. It's very cold. There's no real sun. It's just the ash in the sky. So, I mean, you could pretty much infer what happened. Somehow, there must have been some type of nuclear holocaust that happened. And so this it was a family. Started out with a son, the father, and a mother. There's even a section where they see the town burning and it's coming. They know, the father pretty much knows that this is it. This is the end. And they don't really talk about it much, but there is an area where this family, she was pregnant and gave birth to the baby. So the son basically knows no other world, no experience before living on the road in this desolate, scary, horrible world. The mother at one point decides, that's it. This is just going to end in death. And I don't think she wants to be around to see her husband and her son perish. And her in her mind and her heart, she just can't do it, and pretty much she disappears. She takes off. She basically commits suicide. She doesn't want to deal with it anymore. She doesn't even understand why he does, her husband. Why don't you just take the gun? He has a gun with 2 bullets left. Just take care of yourselves. So that's why the mother no longer is in the picture. And we're just following this father and son. He's very clear. He wants the son to survive, and he's constantly talking to the son about, we're the good guys, because there's a lot of evil out there now, and we're carrying the flame. Kind of reminds me of that movie Quest for Fire, where the prehistoric people, really, fire is life. If you can keep carrying the flame forward, you have a better chance of survival. So he says, we're carrying the flame. We're the good guys. And basically they're traveling. I don't think they even really know where they're going. He just, let's go south. It's so cold. It snows. Let's go south. It's got to be warmer. It's got to be better than where we are. They don't really say, exactly where they are. Are they in Canada or America or really anywhere? They don't say, but they're traveling. I like how the book is written. It's written with no real chapter breaks. So it's kind of, snippets. Boom. This is happening. Boom. The conversations between the father and son are very short, very staccato and very stark. So it fits with, again, the atmosphere that Cormac has given us in this book. But they're constantly in fear. There are cults, these like cannibalistic cults traveling around. And they've got weapons, whatever they can fashion as a weapon they're carrying. And they've got to hide from them periodically, or even other people that they see or meet along the way. It's very few and far between. But so they not are only afraid of being captured and killed and possibly eaten, but they also can't find food. There's everywhere they go, they scrounge, and there's a building, but they're afraid to go in the building. They go in the building and they search and search and search. Any scraps, even sometimes some tools that might help them, because that grocery cart, the wheels go bad, of course, and they got to change out carts or fix the wheels, things like that. Tarps and blankets and clothes. They wear through their shoes constantly. They're constantly, walking And it's just a dark, dour story. This is the darkest story I've ever read, just from start to end. There's no real light at the end of the tunnel. You may have difficulties reading this because of it. It is very depressing. There's no hope in this book at all. I think that the way it's written helps go through this, because there aren't really, again, there aren't chapter breaks, but there's like it's just paragraph breaks. You can stop anytime. There's nothing really that drives you to want to keep reading, though, because it's so depressing and dark. You can just read a chapter and set it down. It's only, like I said, mine only has 241 pages, so it should be a quick read, but it really wasn't. I kind of wasn't jazzed to start reading it again each day. I'm more of an emotional reader. I don't do reviews, talking about the technicalities of so much of the writing and who's the protagonist, antagonist, third person, I'm reading it for entertaining and how it makes me feel. I have to say that when I finished this book, it wrecked me. I couldn't talk for a while. I just sat there and was just in myself, because it's so dark and so depressing. And I started thinking to myself, why? Why would someone write this book? There's got to be some type of meaning other than just flat out dark, no hope, no light. Is it just a survival story? Most people will say that this is a survival story. And as I was just deep in my emotions after reading this, I was thinking that, did Cormac McCarthy go through depression writing this? It's so dark, and it is going to be difficult for some people to read. I think you should read it, though. I just came to this conclusion that this is a book about moving. Not even necessarily moving forward, constantly, reaching forward, but just moving. You've got to keep moving. No matter how dark your life is, how bad your life is, how unbelievable things are, you just have to keep moving. Not even so much physically. It's not, I've got to keep putting one foot in front of the other. That's part of it, of course, but it's just doing something. Your brain, keep learning, just keep moving. Once you stop, you're dead. And I think that's what this book is about. It's not, there's hope at the end of the tunnel type of thing. There maybe isn't. We can sit around and talk with each other about how bad the world, what's going on in the world now. It's so horrible. I think it always has been. This is life. Life is just keep moving. And that's what I got out of it. And then I guess it helped me get through it, because this is very dark. I love the writing. Even as dark as it is, it's very poetically written. It's strange how beautiful the writing is in such a dark and dour story. Kind of interesting. I don't know why I haven't read Cormac before. I'm going to find No Country for Old Men and read that. Somebody has asked me to read that. Again, if I can find it in a hardback version that's decently priced, which is not easy. I'm going to continue with Cormac. My suggestion is, if you are an emotional reader and you just want to explore the different emotions that you have in different books, definitely read this book. It's not a feel-good book. It's not going to make you feel good, but at least for me, it gave me something to think about. And it was well written. I haven't been enjoying some of the books that I've been reading recently, and it's strange for me to say that I enjoyed this book and gave it a 5 when it is so dark and depressing. But I did like it very much, and I would say, even if you're standoffish about something this dark and depressing, I still think it's worth reading. So I gave it 5 stars, and I hope you all give it a try. Let me know in the comments, please, if you've read this book, what you think about it, or if you would even willing to give it a chance. I think you should. Anyways, next time we'll talk about Wool, which is another dystopian post-apocalyptic novel, but not as dark and depressing as The Road. Whew. I don't know, maybe I gotta read some comedy or something soon. Well, Saga always helps me out with that. So anyways, as always, if you find anything entertaining, any value in my videos, please liking my videos helps me, in my logarithms. Please subscribe if you haven't, and as always, leave me tons of comments. I love reading the comments, even the bad ones, even the trolls that I've been receiving. That's fine. At least they watched my video, or I think they did. All right. Anyways, thanks for watching. Peace out.